All right, tonight we'll be discussing about writing business letters, part one. Overview. Among the many forms of written communication, letters are the most common and popular. Decades ago, one had to write letters by hand or use a typewriter. You can just imagine the laborious task of setting the margins and spaces between sentences and paragraphs. Add to it the amount of time and money spent to send letters to their intended recipients, which usually took days, but time have changed. With computers, laptops, and the internet, business letter writing becomes more convenient than ever. You can readily write a letter in just an hour or even less than that and send it in just a fraction of a second. In the workplace, the need to write letters is indispensable. The moment you decide to apply for a job, you will have to send a cover letter and resume for you to be considered for an interview. To get things around, you will have to write a good number of these letters not only to the offices in your company, but also to your clients, firms, and companies outside, such as suppliers, affiliates, government agencies, and so on. Given this, you might dare to ask, why write when we can talk person to person or call the client over the phone? While speaking or oral communication carries a lot more information than just words can express, writing is forever. Next is matrix contrasting writing to speaking according to Davis 2010. So writing versus speaking. So first, speaking is speech is instantaneous. What does it mean? So instantaneous means happening very quickly in a single moment. This is very similar to the meaning of instant. While writing is slower and more difficult but a critical activity. Second, in speaking, oral messages can be answered with immediate feedback. While writing, it requires equipment and materials. Through technology, written messages become cheaper. Third, in speaking, carries more information, including nonverbal cues. While writing, it requires time and effort, so you get to manage them properly. And fourth is the fourth in speaking is it is impermanent. While writing, it is permanent. There is forever in writing. And fifth, in speaking, no clear direction. Fifth is if recorded, its content is difficult to retrieve or search. While writing, it is always available for checking. Six, in speaking, no clear direction. You jump from one topic to another in one setting. While in writing, you get to organize your ideas. Seven, for speaking, as more and more ideas are strung together, the listener gets lost, while in writing, more and more business communication is being conducted in writing. Next reporter, please.
First things first, before you embark on business letter writing, outlined here are the important concepts on what writing and lesson can and cannot do for you. First is you write to create reality. You you write to change the world, states James Baldwin. Use simple tools come in handy with with a dictionary, ballpoint pen, laptop, smartphone, email, digest, news, and etc. Second is you can be your own communication department. Write on with Facebook, IG, podcasts, blogs. You are not only consumers of knowledge, but active producers of it to a diverse, anonymous, and heterogeneous audience. Third is you can increase your confidence. Do not be afraid to fail. Stumbled upon your errors or mistakes. Writing is much more than following the rules. It is a business activity you can manage. Remember, errando dicitur. You will learn by making mistakes.
Next reporter, please.
Number 4, you get to reflect on how you write. Number 5, you can always reinforce.
Number four, you get to reflect on how you write. An essential feature in this lesson is a focus on the steps good writers go through and the decisions they make, especially in writing a letter. If you get used to sitting at the computer right away, and encoding your writing requires getting things done at the least cost and time. 5, you can always reinforce. Insist on your competence. Remember, nobody was born a gifted writer. It is a skill that is valuable. Seek feedback and criticism from trusted mentors and peers. And most importantly, read, write, and write and write. Next reporter.
As a good business writers, you must have two abilities. So first one is competence. Competence, according to linguist Stephen Krashen, is our deep unconscious knowledge of language. We acquire it only through unconsciously learning how a language sounds. The second one is the performance. This refers to the unconscious ability to actually produce language through training. You may have written a lot in your students' days, but not really written well. That is why you have to immerse yourself in the workings of the language from grammar to information design. Next reporter, please.
The anatomy of the business letter. It is composed of a date line, inside address, and the salutation body written below the sender's address and sometimes separated from it by a space. The two common forms of it is November 27, 2009 or AME. And another example is 27 November 2009 PRE. The month on the date line is never abbreviated and the day is never spelled out, and the endings for the numbers 27 are not usually used. These are incorrect forms of date line. Some example of these are the November is abbreviated and 27-2009 or 11/27/2009. It is an incorrect forms of a date line. The inside address. This is the part reflects the address of the recipient. Example, Dr. Cheryl Goodman, Program Director, Amberdale Medical Hospital, Kingdom Road, California, United States of America. This is typed always on the left and single space. The recipient's name, if stated, is followed by the company's name, the department or division, the street address, city postal code, and country. If one of the lines is very long, put half of it on the next line, indenting 2 or 3 spaces. The recipient's name, if stated, and the title are separated by comma. If you are writing to more than one person, make a list of the names in alphabetical order. And for the persons with government positions, the following is used. The example, the President, Malacanang Palace, and Manila. If the letter is addressed to a department in the company but not particular individual, place the company name on the first line and the department on the second. For example, Cebu Normal University, English Studies and Other Languages Department, Osmeña Boulevard, Cebu City, 6,000, Philippines. The salutation. The salutation, this is the greeting signals the beginning of the letter. Example, dear sir, dear sirs, dear madam, dear sir or madam, and dear Mr. James. Should be written below the address and with a space of 1 or 2 lines before the body of the letter. It is followed by a colon. Only use a comma for recommendation or certification. And when addressing a company or organization, use gentlemen or ladies, madam or ladies and gentlemen. The formality of the salutation depends on your relationship with the addressee. presuming to write Dear Frances instead of Dear Professor McNamara demonstrates a disrespectful attitude. If the addressee is unknown, use a polite description such as Dear Alumnus or Dear Voter. Next reporter, please.
So the next anatomy of business letters is the body. So the body is where you write the details of your business letter. Start with a short introduction explaining why you are writing them. The introduction should be 1 or 2 sentences and should have the most important details. The rest of the body includes the details of your letter. The body should be focused on why you are writing and should be as direct and polite as possible. Separate each left-aligned paragraph by skipping up the space, and the body with a 2 sentence wrap-up paragraph to clarify why you are writing and to thank them for their consideration. Be sure that the closing paragraph is suitable for the tune of the letter. A good wrap-up paragraph might look like, "Thank you for updating my claim and looking into circumstances. I look forward to hearing from you." So the next anatomy is the next slide, please. Next is the complementary clause, or which the ending of the business business letter. So it is written like sincerely or yours truly, maybe like that. So and the last part is the signature line, which is the signature on a business letter is the final impression you will give to the reader. Using the right word and format in electronically generated correspondence can demonstrate your professionalism and help you succeed in receiving a job offer, signing a contract, or getting a raise. So that's the purpose of the signature line. So next reporter.
All right, that's all our discussion about the writing of business letters, and here is our output number 3 and number 4. So A is composed of 5-liner inside address. Example is Miss Claudia Powers. Under is President, Garden Valley High School PTA, Garden Valley ID 6574884, PO Box 335. And letter B composed of 4-liner mailing address. Attention, Engineer Renato R. Fresco, CMJ Aviation Academy, General Aviation Road, Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu, Philippines 6015. And output number 4, for example, is the recipient, the inside address, salutation, and complimentary clause. For example, for President Rodrigo R. Duterte, inside address, President Rodrigo R. Duterte, under Malacanang Palace, Municipio Laurel, San Miguel, Manila, Metro Manila, Philippines, 1000. Salutation, dear Mr. President. Complimentary clause is a formal complimentary clause. That's all. Thank you.